Christ Osebru Anonyeli, Eden God's next tip Boronine, Ojas in God's Puma forgive Jesus.
Maria da son Ketubu, Rebala Ninja, Kita Namano, Amen.
Nedu Odibowani ko Sebrowa. Ekene Maria, Egypt na Gracia, Osebru Anonyeli, Eden God's next tip Boronine, Ojas in God's Puma forgive Jesus.
Maria da son
Like, subscribe, and share.
Okwemelaro, Ekene Maria, Egypt na Gracia, Osebru Anonyeli, Eden God's next Tiboronine, Ojas in God's Puma forgive Jesus.
Maria da son Ketubu, Rebala Ninja, Kita Namano, Amen.
Yabalanya, your own name, Ketuku Jaso. Ayo, Aina Yogi Ochuku, Kirinye Blasa, Yomobiai, Carbonian Jerusalem, where Mali will have Christian Wadi, Wisdom Nobia, where Batano Stone and Beaten Awaya, Stena Christi Divinity. Amen. Otito the Rena Nawana Monso, Otito the Rena Nawana Monso, Otito the Rena Nawana Monso,
Amen.
Kabulo Bindini Nekwere no Galaga, Kabulo Bifaz Liken and Dokwa.
Amen.
Onye nwe anyị nọnyere ụnụ ka Chineke dị ike niile gọzie ụnụ Nna na Nwa na Mmụọ Nsọ.
Amen.
Listen to news updates on Ebona, the 103.5 FM immediately after Angeles, 6 o'clock a.m. and 6 o'clock p.m. weekdays. Stay tuned to be updated, to be informed. News updates, live reports. Ebona FM breaks the news with actualities.
And the link that if we are looking for a new Nigeria,
you can as well listen online via mixlr.com/GistFM.
Good morning and welcome to Ebona, the 103.5 FM news update today, Tuesday, the 4th day of July 2023, and the time is 4 minutes past the hour of 6. Martin Ifanshuku Ekezi is my name. The headlines. Woman sets policewoman, her 2 children ablaze in Anambra. Governor Alex Oti meets with Abia Commissioner nominees. 1,000 civilians killed, 1,400 houses razed within 30 months under Governor Ozodemma in Imo report. Nigerian Union of Journalists 6 appointee positions for journalists in Enugu State. Governor Nwifuru approves release of 100 million naira for rice cassava production in Ebonyi. U.S. ambassador meets with American journalists held by Russia. Now, details. Woman sets policewoman, her 2 children ablaze in Anambra. A middle-aged woman has been arrested for allegedly setting a policewoman and her 2 children ablaze in Nnokwa, Idemmili South local government area of Anambra State. The suspect, identified as Nna Makanwosu, a native of Amobia in Oka South local government area of the state, was said to have come in contact with the deceased when she became homeless following a divorce. A resident of the area who pleaded anonymity said the suspect, Nwosu, had gone to live with the policewoman shortly after she became homeless and in their need of accommodation following her divorce from her husband. As soon as the husband divorced her, she confided in the policewoman who benevolently offered her accommodation in her apartment. On that fateful day, she quarreled with the policewoman, which led to a fight. She hit the policewoman on the head with a pestle and she fell and became unconscious. She quickly tied the policewoman and her 2 kids together with a rope inside their room and set them ablaze together with the building. He said It was gathered that the suspect was apprehended by local vigilante and some villagers who were attracted by the fire while she was trying to escape. When the vigilante interrogated her, she initially denied the act, claiming it was a case of gas explosion while the deceased and her children were boiling water. Mosu later confessed to the crime, attributing it to handwork of the devil. I did not know what came over me that made me commit the crime. I deserve to be shot dead for this wicked act against the person who helped me in my time of need, she said. Confirming the incident, the Anambra State Police Command's Public Relations Officer DSP Tochukwu Ikenga said that the suspect had been arrested and the bodies of the policewoman and her children deposited in the mortuary. Governor Alex Oti meets with Abia Commissioner nominees. Other State Governor Dr. Alex Oti, OFR, on Monday met with the nominees whose names have been sent to the State House of Assembly to serve as commissioners in the state. The governor had last Friday sent the list of 19 persons in a letter dated June 30, 2023, signed on his behalf and delivered through the office of the secretary to the state government to the Speaker of the Assembly, Right Honorable Emmanuel Emeruwa. Dr. Oti met with the nominees in the conference room of the office shortly before the awaiting commissioners proceeded to the State Assembly complex for screening by the House Ad Hoc Committee members. In attendance at the meeting were some senior members of the Dr. Oti's administration, including the Secretary to the State Government, Professor Kenneth Kalo, and the Chief of Staff, Dr. Caleb Ajaba. The commissioner nominees are Professor Monica Irunkwe, Mr. Kinsley Anosike, Professor Emme Uche Emme, Mr. Philemon Asonye Ubunna, Mr. Mike Abara, Dr. Ngozi Okoronkwo, among others. "1,000 civilians killed, 1,400 houses razed within 30 months under Governor Uzodimma in Imo." Report. No fewer than 1,000 civilians were reportedly killed, while 1,400 houses were razed in Imo State between January 2021 and June 30, 2023 under Governor Hope Uzodimma, according to the International Society for Civil Liberties and Rule of Law, Inter-Society. The Inter-Society also asserted that at least 3,700 people arbitrarily were arrested and that 320 others disappeared without traces. He added that no fewer than 200 unarmed citizens were also arrested under false labeling and taken into custody, where they were most likely being tortured or threatened with custodial death. This was contained in a review of a special investigative report on the genocidal situation of Christians in Nigeria and the Imo mass atrocities issued on April 10th, June 12th, and May 21, 2023. The report was jointly signed by Emeka Umeagbalisi, criminologist researcher, Board Chair Chinwe Umeche Esquire. The report also noted that at least 80 of the slain 100 unarmed citizens were openly killed, while 20 were killed in custody after having been abducted and made to disappear. The report partly read the findings from comprehensive review of our special research and investigative report on Imo mass atrocities unveiled on 21st May 2023 has shown that no less than 100 unarmed civilians have been killed by military personnel and other law enforcement agencies between 7th June and 30th of June 2023, a period of 24 days. An additional 230 civilians' homes burned down and one only destroyed, with thousands rendered homeless and forced to flee. The worst hit areas are communities in Izumbe and neighboring others, including Agwa Autonomous Community, all in Uguta local government area, as well as Amusha, Olo, Njaba, also, and others under Olo zone of the state. Nigerian Union of Journalists seeks appointed positions for journalists in Enugu State. The Nigerian Union of Journalists Enugu State Council has repeated its passionate appeal to the current civilian administration in Enugu State to consider some of its members for appointments related to their profession, assuring they will serve the state with utmost dignity. NUJ is coming up with the appeal on heels of the clamor and lobby by other unions scattered for appointed positions for their members. The Congress condemned unruly treatment, harassment, and shutting out of practicing journalists from state functions based on provocative comments from members who were present at the Congress, stating they were almost manhandled by policemen who also barred them from entering the government House, Enugu State House of Assembly on June 13th to cover the inauguration of the 8th legislators, according to the journalists who filmed uncontrollably. The policemen claimed they were given a list of only 15 journalists by the authorities to be allowed into the premises of the State Assembly. The Congress agreed the incidents contravened journalism ethics and tasked Comrade Sam Udekwe, leadership of Enugu State Council NUJ, to interface with the authorities and Commissioner of Police on how to halt the ugly trend. Governor Winfrey approves release of 100 million naira for rice cassava production in Ebonyi as part of measures to maximize the comparative advantage Ebonyi State has in rice and cassava production. The state governor, Francis Winfrey, has approved the release of 100 million naira counterpart fund for the IFAD Value Chain Development Program on rice and cassava production in the area. He disclosed during the weekend in a message at the launch of the 2023 wet season inputs distribution to farmers in 8 local government areas in Abakaliki. The Value Chain Development Program is a project of the federal government sponsored by the International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD, to enhance rice and cassava production for sustainable economy and food security. The participating local government areas are Ikwo, Izi, Ohauku, Iza North, Ishielu, Ohozara, Ivo, and Afibo South, otherwise known as Ida local government area. Some of the farm inputs distributed to farmers are certified rice seeds, MPK fertilizer, urea, improved cassava stems, and agrochemicals. Governor Francis Nwifuru, represented by the State Commissioner for Agriculture, Princess Nkeshinyere Ihioko, expressed the readiness of the government to invest more in agriculture for sustainable income and food security in the state. She advised the beneficiaries to make judicious use of the farm inputs to improve food sufficiency in the state. The National Program Coordinator, IPAD, Dr. Fatima Ali, represented by Mrs. Vera Onilo, explained that the distribution of the farm inputs was based on the 50-50 matching grants to improve the livelihood of Nigerian farmers. Earlier, State Program Coordinator IFAD in Ebonyi State, Sunday Ituma, noted that apart from input distribution to farmers, the program had made remarkable progress in the non-agricultural sector. Ituma commended Governor Winfrey for urgently approving the release of the counterpart fund contribution of the state. A farmer, Augustine Njoku, an agro dealer, Chief Etapa Azobo, called on the government to provide agricultural modern equipment to reduce difficulties in farming. Now we move over to the foreign scene. U.S. ambassador meets with American journalists held by Russia. The U.S. ambassador to Russia visited jail Wall Street Journal reporter Ivan Jakovich in Moscow on Monday. The newspaper reported it was the second time the diplomat has seen him since his arrest 3 months ago on espionage charges that he denies. A judge last month rejected an application for Jakovich, 31, to be released from a Moscow prison while awaiting trial. Tracy has accused Russia of conducting hostage diplomacy. Over the years, Russia has agreed to high-profile prisoner exchange with the United States, most recently last year when professional basketball star Brittany Griner, sentenced on a drug charge, was traded for convicted Russian arms trafficker Viktor Bout. But Moscow has said an exchange could take place in the Djokovic case until a verdict on his charges has been reached, but no date has been set for a trial. Any prisoner swap is complicated by geopolitical consideration and who each country considers of equal value to trade. In addition, relations between the two countries are at a low point because of Russia's February 2022 invasion of Ukraine and the U.S. extensive military support for Ukraine. This is where we draw the curtain on news update on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. But before we leave, a quick look at the headlines. Woman set policewoman, her 2 children ablaze in Anambra. Governor Alex Oti meets with Abia Commissioner nominees. 1,000 civilians killed. 1,400 houses razed within 13 months under Governor Uzodinma in Imo. Report. Nigerian Union of appointing positions for journalists in Enugu State. Governor Nwifuru approves release of 100 million naira for rice, cassava production in Ebonyi. U.S. ambassador meets with American journalists held by Russia. You just listened to news updates on Ebonyi at 103.5 FM. News produced and read by Martin Ifeanyi Ekeze. Thank you for listening. Good morning.
Listen to news updates on Ebonyi 103.5 FM immediately after Angeles 6 o'clock a.m. and 6 o'clock p.m. weekdays. Stay tuned to be updated, to be informed. News updates, live reports. Ebonyi FM breaks the news with actualities.
And the link that if we are looking for a new Nigeria,
You can online via mixlr.com/GistFM. To be or not to be? Do you have acting skills? Do you have what it takes to be on the spotlight in acting? Here is the opportunity you have been waiting for. Babuwa Production presents audition for the radio drama Eriko on Ebonyi 103.5 FM. For more information on how to register and feature, visit Ebonyi 103.5 FM inside European Residency Hotel, Ubidi, opposite Omunike Boys, or you call 080-391-67049. Registration ends on Friday, 7th of July 2023. Don't miss out.
Ladies and gentlemen, tighten your seatbelts as we take you on this smooth ride. Let's go! It's the